I guess not sure what happened there. Looks like we lost connection to the stream. We are having some rainy weather here in LA, so maybe that had something to do with it. Anyway, you guys, welcome back. Sorry about that. Not sure what the heck happened here. We'll give people a few minutes to refine the stream here before we get back into it. I see where the stream left off, so we got the Kirkpatrick stuff out of the way. I think you guys pretty much get that. I was talking about Ross Coulthart and played this clip. It was at 21 exactly. And so we'll play this clip again and listen to him and what he's got to say about debunkers and people that go overboard. He calls for the naming of these debunkers, but doesn't name any of them himself. So yeah, we'll get into that in a second. Go ahead and bring this music down a little bit. A little bit. Do this. Alright. So yeah, again guys, thanks for being here. Sorry, I'm just resetting up my chat and everything. I really need a producer of the show. If you want to be a producer of this show, basically just control the chats. Let me know. Let me know. All right, guys. Thank you for being back here and fighting. What's up, Arden? Thank you for being here. Yeah, internet, so stupid. I agree. Okay. God, I hate when the stream ends like that, because then people go find something else to watch. Anyway. Okay, so where were we? Let me go ahead and turn down La Música. So I turn that down, bring this up. And then we will go ahead and put you here, because that's where you belong. That's where you belong, man. All right, there we go. All right, cool. Okay, so yeah, I'm pretty sure we didn't get into the Ross Coulthart. So basically, I'm gonna let this clip play again. Fair use. This is transformative work. We are sharing and discussing the videos we are sharing. This is covered under fair use. We're doing this to educate the public, and this is covered under fair use and allowable by law. Educate and critique. So yeah, okay. So I've got the link for this full interview in the description below. So if you want to go check out the entire interview, but this is the part that caught my attention here. Let's listen to this.
Now, I don't mind scientific response and analysis. I welcome it. I welcome skepticism, and I'm sure we will. We'll get a skeptical rejoinder at some stage, I'm sure, from many people. But the puerile, infantile, teenage jock side of UFO Twitter would seek to denigrate a serviceman by calling him or slurring him as a mercenary when he's actually a signed up member of the Ukrainian armed forces. The way in which people's motives are attacked, and anybody basically pushing something that gives the trolls an opportunity to get an edge. I can understand why, and I read recently that one preeminent researcher is withdrawing from the field because they're just sick of the trolls. Right. Now, that's not scientific criticism. It's not good analysis. You know, one person had a swipe at John the soldier because he didn't film during the battle. And what that told me, of course, was that they hadn't actually watched or listened to the podcast at all, because in the podcast, he explains they were under fire during the period that they were in the sighting area. They couldn't possibly pull out a shiny camera with lights on it and direct it at an object in the sky because they would have been shot. And it's the intentional naivety, the stupid, weird way that people behave to denigrate people, like a military service person who have the courage to come forward. And I feel the same way also about the people who seek to besmirch people like Alex Dietrichs, the F/A-18 pilot, who has come forward on her own initiative, along with other pilots, to testify about what she and other pilots have seen. And then they're told patronizingly by purported skeptics that they didn't really see what they saw and they were probably confused. And, they probably confused.
Yeah, and they probably say that because Alex Dietrich saw 10 seconds of the experience, and the pilot that actually engaged with the craft experienced it for 15 minutes. So there's a huge time discrepancy there, and everybody's asking why. Also, not to mention the fact that her husband was part of ATIP. Oopsies, forgot to mention that before I did 60 minutes. It's okay to question these things, and when you bring them up, that's not you degrading anyone. That's asking a tough question, and they don't like that question.
Used it for a reflection on the inside of their cockpit. We really have to grow up, guys, because
remember what he's saying here. We really have to grow up, guys. And he talks about how people are leaving the UFO field because of the trolls. There are people that have left the Aero team, and Kirkpatrick included, because of the trolls. There are people been in NASA and scientists that have been harassed to a point where they're like, okay, I'm not looking at this shit anymore. Like, I was curious before, but now I'm not, because the data doesn't fit their belief system, they go crazy. So just remember these things.
I can tell you as a journalist a hell of a lot to persuade people to come forward and give evidence. And I'm not here to serve UFO Twitter. I don't give a flying fuck, frankly, about UFO Twitter. Yeah. What I do care is the exposition of the information that's needing to be revealed. And the interesting thing is that there is a selfishness and an impatience out there from an audience who just see this as entertainment. It's not entertainment. It's data. It's data about one of the most important, if not the most important.
This is definitely entertainment. 100% entertainment.
Important issue of our time. But by seeking to denigrate people who come forward, by seeking to attack the motives of people who are willing to come forward with evidence as sightings, witnesses, all they're doing is scaring them off. And I frankly, UAP social media should be ashamed of itself. It's time to take a long, hard look at itself and wonder, really, does it serve any useful purpose to behave the way it behaves? Right. And frankly, these trolls, they need to be outed. They need to be exposed. Good skeptical criticism is fine. Yeah. But people who denigrate the character of people, people who attack people and seek to destroy them, they need to be pulled down. They need to be destroyed.
No,
because we can't tolerate that. That's unscientific. Scientists, indeed. There are some scientists who behave in a very, very unscientific way.
Some scientists?
They have a paradigm.
You mean Kirkpatrick?
They accept as the reality paradigm.
So let me get this straight. They should be pulled down and destroyed. And now he's going to yell at scientists and talk about Kirkpatrick. First of all, they need to be outed. Who are they? Tell us. The world is dying to know, Ross Coulthart. Who is the community? Who should they be worried about and try to bring down and destroy? Oh, you say they need to be outed? Okay. Out them. Who are they, Mr. Coulthart? Who are they? Okay. So dumb.
And if something comes into their worldview that conflicts with their paradigm, then they immediately seek to denigrate the person delivering it. So this is a problem in science as much as it is in the UAP research area. But I think this is a broad issue that I'm responding to that I think explains why the mainstream media is largely staying away from this issue. Because frankly, you should be ashamed of yourselves.
Oh,
We get it too. We'll get
we
people that are even
we
saying,
should be ashamed of ourselves. Got it. Okay. So let me ask you, Mr. Coulthart, then. What did you mean? Oh, yeah, here it is. What did you mean when you said this?
That's the issue here, my friend, is that there's been enough stuff on the public record to make you have cause for pause. You know, people have seen stuff for years, for decades. And if there's been this cover up, if there's been this lying going on where certain individuals in the intelligence community and the defense community have essentially conspired with sections of private aerospace to criminally, illegally conceal stuff from congressional oversight, well, not only should they be tarred and feathered and dragged around Washington, D.C. and stoned behind a Humvee, they should also be named and shamed. You know, and
again,
this is what they don't want.
Shamed.
So this is why there's a pushback going on. You know?
So that's the second time now that he wants to name shame. But what the really interesting part here is how he calls for lawmakers and people who are hiding this truth to be pulled out of their offices, tied behind a Humvee, tarred and feathered, and stoned. Like medieval justice. And I have already done an entire episode going over what tar and feathering is, where this comes from, where it originates, the things he's asking for, and how they are not considered threats against the American intelligence system and people and lawmakers. I have no clue. I'm not sure why a foreign journalist is commenting on all of these things or thinks he has the answer and is like, you know, oh, I know why they're, and is claiming the reason why mainstream media is ignoring this issue or issue is because of internet trolls on UAP Twitter. That's why MSNBC and NBC and CNN and Fox News and every other news conglomerate, the Washington Post, the Huffington Post, every single other post out there that says, hey, news here, come click here. They're all uninterested in the most interesting story, if true, told of all time. And that's the biggest thing. If it's true. And then when you look at the if, you find out, oh, that if turns quickly into it's not. This guy has the gumption, the temerity, the balls to say, oh, I don't mind skeptics. Skepticism's okay, just as long as it fits my belief system. And if it doesn't, I would like to see you destroyed, tarred and feathered, and stoned to death and dragged behind an SUV or a Humvee. This guy just can't stop saying shit like this. Him and Corbell just love saying shit like this. These people need to be outed. Okay, so out them, Mr. Journalist. Who are they? Who are the people that need to be destroyed? Why don't you just put a name with it? You're so tough. You're such a tough guy. So fucking big and bad. But you won't out the people who are denigrating other people, which is like, okay, well, how big of a fucking... How cowardly can you be? Right? You see people getting denigrated and you don't say anything about it. You just say they should be called out. You don't actually call them out yourselves. It's wild, man. This mosh pit is absolutely batshit crazy. Crazy. And I see we have our, she's like a fan, but she loves to hate watch the show. Where is she? Always forget. Is it Stoned Ape? I saw your tweet where you guys can, I don't know, for some reason my microphone doesn't work on the Twitter Spaces when I'm on my desktop. I don't know if it's a setting, something I'm doing wrong, but yep, just doesn't work. So that's why I haven't done it. I tried, but haven't done it. Maybe we'll do call-ins on the next show. I don't feel like doing call-ins today. So yeah, I mean, like, this guy sitting here being like, you know, calling for, you know, people to look in the mirror and, you know, being okay with some scientists and some military members getting shit on and abused and denigrated. But when it comes to the military members and the scientists and the people that curtail and abide by his belief system, the second you talk badly about them, it's not okay. And then, you know, this guy right here, God, man, I would love to dig into the numbers of what this guy pulls. I would love it. I've asked him a million times. He's just a little show in his shed, according to him. Yeah. Anyway, I've got the link to this show as well in the description below. So I don't recommend listening to any of these shows. I think a lot of them are propaganda and bad information. But I also don't want to propagate any other media outlets with shitty, terrible, fiery information. Okay, so what was, let's see here. What was the last one? Oh, yes, that's right. Corbell and his bullshit. All right, let's see here. I know this was there we go. So this is Corbell, and what was so funny is they did a weaponized episode, and I'm sure this clip will cut to it, but they're in the same hotel. They're doing this interview in two separate rooms. I know this because the curtains are both the exact same, and I guess they were traveling together, but I don't understand why they couldn't be in the same room and sort of do this show together. That would have been, I think, a little cooler, but whatever. Here we go.
With Commander Fravor the other day, and he shared some information that came to him that was just, you know, email style. But George, it was passage material. And I don't know if people on our podcast know what that means, but sometimes in SAPs or special access programs, they have what they call passage material. It's material that is leaked to people. People try to hit us with this shit all the time, George, like false information as journalists, like they're going to use our mouths to their benefit.
Right, they do. Look at the curtains. They're the exact same. They do. 29 Palms, Bob Lazar, the jellyfish, the flying pyramids, all of those are terrible, terrible. Well, they're great examples of how terrible the information is. So I love this idea of, like, people try to use this. No, they do. They do. They're either using you or you are complicit in this bullshit. I tend to lean toward the latter.
Little do they know we're good at our job. But the thing is that this material is being passed around to people like even Commander Fravor, where they're trying to kind of convince him that Lockheed Martin, as an example, had some sort of similar technology to what he saw. First of all, he laughed. He's like, if people knew my job right now, they would know that I know that is not true. So it was just, he said it to me as like an alert. Have you seen this before? And I said, I have. Do you understand what's happening, Commander? And he goes, I do. So basically, it's a really interesting story, and it has a lot of real information in it. But there is a core fake information in there. They call it passage material. It was eventually, I can backtrace it, reverse engineer it, where it comes from an agency. And I'm just going to say it, man. Why does the CIA have a completely different methodology of shaping the emerging UAP narrative compared to other good agencies? Like, there are some good people in the Department of Justice, Federal Bureau of Investigation, in the DOJ, as I said, even in the DOE, DIA, there are good people looking to give correct information. So I just want to tell you, there's passage material being pushed around within the UFO community, and people are being approached by individuals, and they're kind of like boasting about it. Shut your mouths. You don't even know who these people are. So I just want to kind of give that little hidden message to people. Careful who you talk with. There's people trying to give you fake information. You got a question, call Crazy Uncle Jeremy. I will let you know and give you the receipts and the documents, as the kids say, of what I know to be false information people are trying to get out into the media. So it's a weird time. It's an information warfare moment. This is a moment where 2024 is going to be defined by our human intelligence. It's going to be defined by our ability to separate the wheat from the chaff, as you say, and I say the bullshit from the truth. That 2024, we're going to have new hearings. We're going to have more congressional hearings.
We're going to have more field hearings. And in field hearings, you do not get any classified information. These field hearings are things that the idiots like this are begging for so they can continue to tease that hearings are coming, even though these hearings will be fucking meaningless because none of the people that they're talking to and none of the lawmakers that are controlling this hearing sit on any of these committees. God, it's something that I've said a billion times now. None of them sit on the appropriate committees to look at classified information. Not a one. Not Moskowitz, not Luna, not Burchett. None of them. None of them, none of them, none of them. So this idea that Jeremy Corbell is telling people, be careful of bad information, people sneaking in bad stuff with truth surrounding it. You, of all people, warning the mosh pit about that. That is not even calling the kettle black. That is something completely different. Oh, that's right. It's called scamming people. Right. It's called a ruse. That's what it is. Anyway, guys, I am sorry that the show lost power. I'm not sure what happened, but we didn't miss much. And thanks for everyone who hopped back in. But I think that's the show today. I just wanted to address these three things specifically. And then there was also that, well, yeah, you know what? There's one other thing I wanted to discuss. Well, actually, two things. Okay, so we have Danny Sheehan and his New Paradigm Institute, which is just an absolute shit show. I just love the idea that this guy is in California. I mean, maybe I should visit this. Oh, by the way, Jaime Maussan is going to be revealing new alien bodies at a hotel in West Hollywood that I'm not very far away from. Thinking about either, if I can, live stream it from my phone. If I can, I think I'm just going to go there and get sound clips and try to ask some questions and pretend I'm part of the press. I think it'll be fun. We'll share the clips here, and that might sort of inspire a trip to the Romero Institute, because I believe it's in Santa Clarita, California. But let's listen to Daniel Sheehan's pitch. I mean, does this look like a guy that you would give a ton of money to? Anyway, let's continue.
Hi, my name is Danny Sheehan. I'm coming to you from the front yard of the Holy Cross Church here in Santa Cruz, California, the home of the Romero Institute. We are the sponsor for the New Paradigm Institute that is engaged in attempting to lift the secrecy around the UFO issue. This has huge theological and philosophical and geopolitical repercussions for our country and for the world. We need your help. Please send your contributions to the New Paradigm Institute.
Send us money.
Thank you.
Send us money, baby. Send us money, baby. New Paradigm Institute, send us that cash. Send us that cheddar, baby. Ooh-wee, send us that cheddar. Okay, this is the last thing we're going to talk about. So, professional boxer. Okay, let me just, again, clarify this. Let me really contextualize what that means. A man who calls himself his profession is to get hit in the face and suffer concussions for a lot of money in hopes that he gets less concussions and less hits to the face than the guy he's trying to give concussions and hit to the face to. That is his professional job. And he said some absolute crazy stuff in a space. I'm not even sure if I can play this. I mean, we are covering it. But he does say some pretty wild stuff that I don't think I'll play it. If you guys want to check out the clip, it's out there. But basically, professional boxer Ryan Garcia told Andrew Tate. Oh, I didn't even realize that part of it. Now it's starting to make a lot more sense. Andrew Tate in an X Spaces that he was held down, tied up, and forced to watch the abuse and R word of children in the woods. And when you listen to the clip, he says it's Bohemian Grove, the same place that Alex Jones snuck into and got some video of. He claims to have pictures of this. He claims to have video of this stuff. And that they're now trying to destroy his life. And of course, Project Unity, the lover of all things conspiracy, writes, "This is a crazy situation. Ryan Garcia is a professional boxer. Recently, he's been saying a lot of things about being forced to witness child sacrifices and elite rituals. I don't know what to make of this right now, but the guy has a legit career, and then suddenly this." Getting punched in the face for a living creates things like this, especially when you add God knows what other substances he may be taking and mixing. And then you add personal beliefs in on top of that, and you get crazy rants like this when you're talking to the king of conspiracy in Andrew Tate, and probably one of the worst human beings to walk on the planet right now. A human being that Keemstar absolutely loves. So this is the kind of people we're talking about, okay? The cesspool. And this idea that a boxer should be taken seriously on any of these claims is absolutely wild to me. It's like the crazy situation, like a professional, like he's like a professional physicist or scientist or musician. Now, the problem with this is that there are going to be elements of this that are true. I mean, look at what's going on with Puff Daddy. Look at what's going on. Even with, Epstein Island and there are elements of this that are 100% true, but that cannot be paintbrushed on every single celebrity, every single politician, every single person who got the vax or whatever, whoever you want to paint this brush with. It's dangerous, and just be careful. Just be careful who you paint that brush with, because I think there are elements to this, but then I think there are also just crazy people who are lying and telling you what you want to hear and telling you what they believe themselves. And I hope he gets help. I hope his family gets to him, and I hope he realizes that he is in a deep hole of conspiracy. And this is the stuff that has happened within this community where people have gone down this hole, the hole of complete destruction. We just saw Leto do it not too long ago. And by the way, the people who've taken over Leto's channel, the worst people that could have taken over that channel. It gives me zero hope that Leto's going to be coming back into an environment that is healthy for him. I think he's going to go slip right back into the rabbit hole that he's hopefully crawling out of. But if those two hosts are any indication of where Chris Leto's going to end up, I'm not hopeful. Actually, a little worried about it. But again, this is a rabbit hole that we've seen people go down where they've hurt family members. I mean, just recently, we've heard about that guy in the UK who stabbed his father 100 and something times. Like, it's absolutely insane because You know, he didn't believe in the lizard people and the Anunnaki and all this other just wild, insane shit. And this is, you know, again, this is part of the reason why I do this show, because I feel responsible that I might have helped people go down that rabbit hole. And hopefully, you know, we can help talk them out of it. And if I can't, I can't. But at least I can say I tried. Like, I genuinely gave an effort and I was trying to do the right thing. But hey, we'll see what happens, man. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that's the show, guys. Thank you so damn much for hanging out today. Sorry about that. That was pretty loud. Leto has been MK Ultra. Nah, he didn't quit. He's just like taking a break, but there's people that have taken over his show. Anyway, Lou just now making up tough that he presents as fact again. Is that supposed to be stuff? What did I just make up? Anyway, good night, Pat Calabria. Good night, Lord Bass. He figured out all that science from those shrooms. Love it. Wild Fools, thanks for being here. Lord Ludicrous, thanks for being here. Stymon Fly, my man, thank you for being here. Wise Monkey, thank you for being here. Where is my one buddy? Jeff Garvey, thank you for being here. Swing McLeod, Steve Long, thank you for being here. Matt, Breeder Syndicate 3.0, thank you for being here. Again, sorry guys for the two streams. I don't know why it crashed the first stream, but it happens. You know, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? I think I got everyone. If I didn't get your name anyway, thank you so damn much for being here. Thank you for the donation, Complizier, earlier in the show. Truly appreciate it. Let's see, when will we be back? I have no idea. Hopefully soon. We'll see what news comes out. I know that the report is dropping any day now. The last of Kirkpatrick's report from Arrow, the part 2. So as soon as that drops, we'll do a show. We'll talk about it. But please, before you get out of here, don't forget to smack that like, share, and subscribe button. Don't forget to ring the bell. That way you are notified anytime we go live or a stream crashes and we got to restart. You'll get a notification that it is restarting. If you want to support with the almighty dollar, again, we got Patreon links in the description below, and we really appreciate any of those dollars. They genuinely go a long way. And again, thank you for embarking on this journey of discovery together. Stay curious, stay skeptical, and until next time, thank you for helping raise the bar, everyone. I love you all. Have a great rest of your week. We'll see you soon. Peace out.